we can put all of these things together. I just talked about two different. I know this isn't world history, but you kind of need to understand this in order to understand decolonization and in order to understand the Cold War. Can anyone jump the gun, kind of brag a little bit and show coolness? What am I getting at with this? Why am I talking about China? Why am I talking about Japan? Why am I talking about India and their relationship with England? What was the connection? What's the relationship between, say, China and England? What was happening to England? Excuse me, what was happening to China around 1900? It's big, no question, but also fragmented, right? Losing power. But we know something about China. Does it ever stay this way? It goes back and forth. So what's it really eager to go? If you're this now, what's in the future? Unification. Okay, it's pushing to some type. There's a demand for strong centralization. Okay, very important. What about Japan? What's their relationship? Go ahead.
How long did the UK control Hong Kong? I know it's like 97, but how long before that?
100 years. That's why it came up. So 1897 and 1997. Exactly. So what about Japan? Remember, they were isolated until 1600. They started being isolated until 1600, until 1860s, and I'm going to put 1860, I think it's 67, but I could be wrong, maybe it's 1868. This is the Meiji Restoration, right? Maybe even 1864, doesn't matter. Then what do? They come out of isolation. Yes, and what's their goal?
To become a world power.
To become a world power. That is their goal. And so they are emulating England. They're following England's approach. Right? So that means that they are wanting to be an empire. This is why it's very important to recognize that Japan is in both World War I and World War II. What are they trying to do? That's right. Now, we know why in World War I, why they're on the side of the Allies. Why are they on the side of the Allies in World War I? Who are they trying to emulate?
Britain.
The British, right? But why aren't they on the British side in World War II?
Because they've outgrown.
They've outgrown it, but also what is England doing? Are they empire? No. They're moving in this rule of law, and that's not something that Japan understands yet. They're still thinking rule by might. And which side in World War II is on the rule by might side? Axis powers. And then we look here at India. And India is different. This is kind of explaining kind of the process, pacification. But what we have here with pacification is you almost have dual governments, right? But clearly, who is the teacher and who is the student? Is it equal? There are two governments, but are they equal?
No.
No. And that's remarkably important because that means you have the British Crown, and who's actually keeping peace? Had India really had a centralized government before this? Nothing to this extent. Right? So their locals have a government. But it's really kind of dependent upon the centralization, right?